So you go to Thick Skin a lot?
No, I've never been, so I wanted to go check it out. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So
You've been in Denver or Colorado for how long?
9 years,
Right.
something like that. So.
Okay, but you didn't start comedy till fairly recently?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So.
There it is in Fort Collins.
Yep, started at the Comedy Fort, hitting their Monday night open mic most of the time, and then eventually started hitting other mics. So.
Someone just told you you're funny. You're like, I guess I'll try it out.
Yeah, I've been told I was funny a few times, but my girlfriend and I used to go to open mics because I wanted to do comedy, and I never did. Like maybe in 2017, I started going to open mics in Fort Collins just to watch, eventually to build up the nerve to perform. Didn't perform until 2022. So like 5 years of wanting to do it and not doing it. And I finally committed and it went okay. So I've just stuck to it.
What happened? Was she like, we're going to break up if you don't do it?
No, I honestly, after COVID, I got my own car and like had some freedom and I was like, shit, I'll just go do it. I think I watched people bomb on Kill Tony and I was like, I can do that. So I went and ate my ass for a few months straight and then eventually started figuring out what worked and what didn't and things like that, stage presence, stuff like that. So
yeah, there's a nice little community down in Fort Collins. You feel part of it right away? Do you think there was
no, I think
little
for the
bit
first
of a
3 months I didn't talk to anybody. I literally just kept my head down, just worked really hard. I took it way too serious, honestly, for the first few months. So I didn't talk to anybody. Joe Frommert's girlfriend actually talked to my girlfriend and like that's how we all became friends. So our girlfriends made us.
Thank God your girlfriend was around.
Yeah,
or
right.
you can still not be talking to anybody in the county scene.
Yeah, no kidding. I might have quit by now. So.
What do you mean take it too seriously? You just thought like I'm better than this or better than these people. I'm funnier.
No, like just so scared of doing bad that I didn't allow myself to just have fun with it or like go talk to people because I'm like, oh, what if they think I'm not a good comic or whatever? So I just kept to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And they still think you're a bad comic and they talk to you. So,
yeah, so it worked out. I could have just skipped that whole process, you know?
No, I mean, yeah, people, something I try and get over as well as people are going to think what they're going to think. And
sure.
Just got to do what you think is funny. You know?
Yeah. Comedy's helped me grow with that aspect of my life like a lot, you know, like
doing what you think is funny.
Doing what I think is funny or not caring about like
yeah
as much. You know, if you're vulnerable all the time, eventually you become like callous to it a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm a little thicker skin, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I recently saw you down in Greeley. I went down to that Stella's open mic, which is such a cool venue.
Yeah, I love that place.
That strip of, was it like 10th Avenue, like downtowny? When I lived in Greeley, it was like, you know, my whole life up until 2011, I moved here to Denver, but like there was barely any action starting to go on down there. You know, it was like the college neighborhood, but there were like 2 bars and like that was about it. You know, you couldn't really do anything. They did a jazz fest down there every now and then, but all the stuff that's surrounding there now, like a couple restaurants, it was just the Civic Center and that was it down there. So it was like, it's just so cool to see awesome venues opening up. Like in the, you know, something that did kind of hurt my heart a little bit is like there's this pinball place now, pinball arcade down there at Stella's. And you could see where they just put black paint over like the old like wood carved, you know, doorways that were there for probably like, you know, the early 1900s and stuff that was probably like gold laced and shit. You know? Like something you see at the Denver Capitol now, but it's just painted over with black paint.
Yeah, like cheaply done. Yeah, for sure.
And they had these cool like arch doorways that they just put a fucking barn door over, which I get, you know, it's like they're just trying to run a business and they want it to look good and like trendy or whatnot.
I hate barn doors, to be honest. Honestly, I do. I feel like they're just like finger taker offers. You know what I mean? I've smashed my fingers in probably dozens of them by now. It's probably my fault, but
I remember seeing a video of like some, I don't know, I think it was a comedy video, but there was like a barn door on the bathroom. And they're like, sometimes you just want to be able to close a door, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. They're kind of ugly, but they're happening. They're
I mean, it saves space. I mean, I get why certain places do it. Hotels do it a lot, you know.
Well, I mean, installing like a real pocket door would be so expensive. So they are a solution to a problem, but damn, I hate them, you know, honestly. So
yeah, you want to be able to latch a door, especially if you're going to take a shit in a new spot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you want that door to latch. You want a good or like, you know,
Oh yeah, you
metal
want to hear
going
it.
into
It's
a
like you want to
hinge.
feel the satisfaction of it closing. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, no one's gonna know about this. Close myself out to the outside world.
That's funny.
But yeah, but Stella's so cool. Don't get me wrong, barn doors, whatever. But it was just like, you know, when I was a kid, that was like Old Town Denver. You know, like that was like, I mean, when I was a kid, that was Old Town Greeley.
Right.
You know, so it was like had this, you know, mystique to it. It's right by the Capitol. That, you know, the had to go in there for a ticket or two, you know, back in my day, you know,
it's
whatever.
actually a nice Capitol building.
The courthouse, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that street was probably had some prostitution going on back in the day and all that jazz. There's a history there, is all I'm saying.
For sure.
There's a history there, and it's.
I mean, Greeley's got a good thing going right now. Honestly, I know that the Colorado Eagles are moving out there too. Like the smaller hockey team is moving out there. Yeah,
interesting, because they were like in Loveland, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, exactly. So
which is like way smaller of a town.
Loveland is smaller than Greeley?
It was when I was.
Oh, I didn't know.
There. I mean, everybody was talking about how they were going to connect at some point back in the day. So
sure,
and I'm pretty sure it's almost. I mean, it's already there.
Well, I'm sure Greeley will enjoy the extra revenue from that hockey team. Honestly,
you a big hockey fan?
Not at all. Okay. No. I'm from the desert. Hockey's very foreign to me, honestly. So,
where are you from?
Midland, Texas. It's like the western part of Texas, underneath New Mexico. It's a oil field town. It's actually where George W. Bush is from, which is not a brag. It's more like a shameful fact.
Oh,
you know. So,
well, I'm sorry you feel shame by that, but
I don't really care. But people always just bring it. They're always like, "Oh, that sucks."
Well, you know, the most recent. I mean, that was a whole bad situation with that guy. You know, he got caught up in a bad thing. You know, and you know, it's politics. You know,
that was like 4 presidents ago. So
yeah, you know,
we've
and
moved
it's
on.
You know, it's in recent memory. You know, it's like, you know, no president in their time, I think, is really appreciated for any good thing they've done, which I'm sure he did plenty, but you know, he's always going to be
him dodging the shoe. That video, have you seen that? That's a classic, dude. So,
yeah, we can look it up right now.
Yeah, he's got a few different moments. Old W, like the shoe getting thrown at him, or like he talks about how we're gonna we're gonna fuck up Iraq or something, and he just drives a golf ball.
Oh, you got it on 2 times the speed here. 2 shoes got thrown at him?
I forgot about the second shoe, dude.
The second shoe. Everyone forgets about the second shoe. There was a second shoe.
Oh, man.
I thought he caught it.
Yeah, he's laughing, too. That's so funny.
This is crazy. Damn.
He's like, damn, I pissed that guy off so bad.
Yeah, he shrugs it off. I mean, I know, like, you know, I'm not like a Bush apologist or anything, but, you know, there's a little more clarity of, like, you know.
Now he's making fun of the shoe.
Yeah,
all right, dude. That's a
boss. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty interesting move, you know.
I take it back. W might be cool, dude.
Yeah. This Justin W might be cool.
Yeah. Jury's still out. But.
Yeah. You know, we all had, you know, everybody's been doing some shit during their presidency. You know, nobody's scot-free.
No,
but
not
nobody's,
at all. But...
you know, a clean, you know.
No, he might actually have the best run of the last, 20 years of not being made fun of by the media. Maybe Obama. Obama was pretty loved. But.
Yeah, Obama was loved, but I mean, there's still some shit going on.
Sure.
And I mean,
sure, he fucked up some weddings overseas, I heard. So.
Yeah, you know, everyone's got some shit going on. You know, that's all right. Nobody's. That was fun. We can look back and be like, oh, what a nice time.
Yeah, I mean, he really took it on the chin.
Yeah,
and
he
laughed.
handled
That's
it great.
Cool. Yeah.
I wonder what do you think Trump would do if someone threw a shoe at him?
Probably just stand up and put his fist in the air.
It's
like
the smallest shoe I've ever seen.
It's like the bullet thing all over.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Obama would probably have handled it cool.
He would have caught the shoe and threw it back. I'm assuming would be my guess.
Like, not a good shoe.
Yeah, yeah. Cheap shoe. That's hilarious. Yeah, so I'm from Texas. I've been here about 10 years. I like it. I like it a lot, honestly. Fort Collins is a great town. We have a good scene. The Comedy Fort's been a blessing. So
in really Fort Collins, you mean, when you say we, you mean Fort Collins?
Yes,
that's what you're claiming. That's your crew.
Yeah, it's where I started. It's where I got most of my reps.
I've talked to some people that were around for that area town of Colorado before the fort was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, and this is no shade, I just was curious about what your thought process was, because you started at the Fort. That's like the best place to do it in town. It's the big club.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go out and you're doing other mics now. Do you think starting out at such a good place kind of gave you a false sense of security or like anything like that? And then going to like Stella's open mic and no one gives a shit?
I think I was lucky enough to get decent enough at the Fort before I moved on, because I've honestly had a pretty good time just not eating my ass. So comedy's been going well. I think those first 3 months where I just kept my head down and was like scared to talk to people, I think I honed in enough like skills to get by, and then I grew from there, honestly. So
yeah.
But you do see like a huge difference in like people who start comedy in Fort Collins versus people who start comedy in Denver. There's obviously like an accelerated track that those Denver comics are on. They get to hit, a dozen mics in 1 week, where we are lucky. We have to drive an hour to hit one. You know what I mean? So we're lucky to hit 3 in 1 week or something like that. So there's like that difference that is pretty noticeable and tangible, things like that. So I do get what you're saying. Like, do I think the Fort gave me a false sense of security because it's such a good room, and then you go other places and the rooms aren't as forgiving or fair? And yeah, I mean, that happens, but I think all comics agree you need the bad rooms no matter what. So
yeah. So you don't think it was a detriment?
No, I think it's a good place to start, especially if you're somebody who's nervous or scared, because the scene there is so nice to everybody. Like, everybody is kind all the time. So that could hurt you or help you whenever you start,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah. I think it encourages more people. Yeah. Hopefully,
Less people
to stick
quit.
it out. Yeah.
So.
Most people do quit. I don't know.
But I think all the Fort Collins people listening, you guys need to go to Denver to hone in your... You need to.
Come in and crowd all our mics. That's great.
Well, I mean, otherwise we're never going to get good.
No, I get you. I get what you're saying. And it's just fun. It's I'm just joshing,
Fair enough.
It is just a little disheartening when I get there late and then they're like, wow, we got like 3 comics that came up from Fort Collins or where we're going to get them up first. I'm like, fine.
Fair. Yeah.
No, I get it. That's just how it goes. But, yeah. So, I was talking, I think it was Jacob Erdman. He was saying that he thought that maybe, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's been around for a while. And he was saying that he thought maybe the Fort hurt the comedy scene because I think he was saying more so with like, there aren't a lot of comics trying to do their own thing, start their own rooms, start their own shows.
I think he's right. But I also think that whenever he was a little more active in the scene, the breweries weren't all dying out. Every brewery, I mean, all
do you
the
feel that way?
Breweries are dying out big time.
That's interesting.
Like it's like a measurable.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And comedy and breweries have been hand in hand for like 15 years now. So now that they're all going away, we have a lot less venues that are willing to have us and pay us to do our thing. And I think especially now that Fort Collins has like a main place, comics are spoiled and we don't want to do it, but there are comics who are looking for rooms and we can't find them or we can't get them to agree to do it in Fort Collins.
Do you think there's any kind of like, I don't want to step on David Rodriguez's toes, that he's the owner of the Comedy Fort? Like, I don't want to make him mad, so I'm just not going to try and open up my own room or do something that isn't involved with the Fort at all?
I don't necessarily know if it's people that are afraid to step on David's toes. I just think that they might feel so spoiled. Like, if you go to the Monday mic at the Comedy Fort, like you said, it's a great room. Like, you can tell a bad joke and get good laughs in there. And so people feel like that's almost like a showcase feeling. So they don't feel like they have to put in an effort to get that feeling anymore because it's always there on Monday nights. So
I saw that they recently just went to a online, which is crazy.
Yeah, they moved it to an online. It's the same
online sign up.
Online sign up, similar to New Talent Night at Comedy Works in Denver, where you sign up and they tell you a week before if you're on or not.
Whoa, really? I thought it was just like, that's crazy.
No, they moved away completely from like the openness. So they call you up and you get to do 3 to 4 minutes, depending on your skill, maybe 2 to 4 minutes.
So they're really doing like copying the Comedy Works model.
Same. Yeah. Wow. And I think they have a book spot at the end that's 10 minutes. So that's, I guess, like what you're working towards now, which is cool for newer people. you know, because now they have an idea of what it takes and where they're at. Because beforehand, it was just like a crapshoot of where you stand in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off though. We can go back to the online sign up, but you're saying the fort's so good, and you can get that showcase feeling.
Yeah, the comics feel like they don't have to work like before the fort. There was Hoties, and that was like just an open mic. Yeah, it wasn't like a dedicated room for comedy. It was at a music venue. And so people who wanted to get the laughs that they crave as a comedian had to open up their own rooms in Fort Collins. And I think Erdman's kind of right in the sense of comics don't feel the drive to do that anymore. But I also think that goes hand in hand with comics don't have as many rooms that are open to doing this anymore.
Interesting.
So.
That is a hustle. That's its own like side hustle, is fucking trying to find your own shit to start your own shows and stuff like that.
I mean, personally, I've asked 20 plus venues, and I've gotten like one to agree to one show one time. So it's kind of rough out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless you're willing to just like not get a guarantee. If you're willing to like just do ticket free sales and do it for free, then you might have that option. But competing with the fort on the weekend is impossible.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
Yep.
Damn. Okay. So yeah. So the online sign up for the Comedy Fort is interesting. That's
yeah. I think hopefully it'll push people to open more mics in our town. I'm hoping, but like I said, it's a tough battle doing that. I also think new people are either going to quit sooner or maybe treat it more serious, because some people do just go in there and read their like notes and just don't care every week, but they show up all the time. And so maybe that'll like light a fire under certain people's asses that they need to like strive for more. Hopefully though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But you know, open mics are for working on new stuff. That's for sure. So yeah. You know, I don't fault anyone for going up at an open mic with a notebook is all I was thinking.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I wonder if like people just didn't want to host the mic anymore, or if it was like David was like, I don't want this many people here all the time, or like wanting to cultivate more of like a higher end.
I think it's cultivating
like what Comedy Works does with their new talent night. I mean, that's
they're trying to push their talent. To push themselves harder, you know what I mean, versus just treating it like an open mic every night.
Yeah,
because like on Wednesdays there is an open mic in Fort Collins at the Speak Cheesy. It's like the Cheesy, I know it's like a pizza dungeon bar thing. Okay. It's weird, but it's cool. It's a good room, low ceilings, good acoustics, great crowd. Audience.
Okay, great
crowd. Yeah. I mean, it's like weird. It's a really good room. So that is like where I think the Fort Collins comics can come and like hone in their new stuff, and then once they get called up on Mondays, now they can kind of bring the heat. You know what I mean? So,
sure. Yeah. There's just more pressure to do well. Like at Comedy Works, like nobody's phoning it in. Yeah, everyone's like, you know, trying their best for sure. Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yep.
Do you feel any resentment from your girlfriend having to drive you around to all these mics or shows? Right? Is she getting tired of the comedy community? No. I imagine you can only last for so long. I mean, there's a lot of same people doing the same stuff. You got to really be in it.
Yeah, I think I'm lucky in the sense of my girlfriend is kind of similar to, if you know who Dave Cadwell is.
Dave Caldwell?
Caldwell. Yeah, sorry. And then Zach, or oh shit, I forgot the other guy's name. Dale Zachary. Yeah. He always shows up to all the shows and laughs.
Super fans.
Yeah, and I think my girlfriend is kind of in that lane in the sense of she likes comedy, and all my comic friends are her friends too. So she enjoys going out.
Okay, yeah. So it's a more of a social thing for her.
Yeah, honestly. She's kind of just a part of the crew now. I've told her to go up 100 times. She won't do it.
You told her to?
Oh, I've been like, you need to do this. Yeah, you're funny. Because she like sits in the back and like gives people notes after their set. And she knows, she has a good sense of humor. Uh-huh. And I think she should do it. If you're going to go to every open mic with me, why not go up? You know, you'd have a lot of practice by now.
Could you take it if she started getting more offers than you, though? That would be hard. For me.
It would be kind of hard, I guess.
Me in comedy. If she started doing it.
I wouldn't surprise me. It might hurt my feelings at first, but who knows? Maybe it would hurt my feelings. I don't know. I haven't thought about that, I guess.
Being honest with myself, it would hurt my feelings. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't stop her from doing it at all, but you know, it would be hard.
I don't know. That's a great question, actually. I didn't even think about it.
Well, that's
Oh,
nice.
man,
You're not
yeah.
thinking about being jealous of your partner at all or anything.
Oh, no. I actually have a funny story about me and her, though. Whenever we first, so I moved here with a different woman. I moved here with my
Whoa.
ex-girlfriend, and she moved back like pretty quickly. And to get her back to Midland, I put her on a Greyhound bus and I went back with her. But I was going to pick up my car in Texas, drive it back to Fort Collins after I dropped her off. So we are in Fort Collins waiting at the bus stop to get on a Greyhound. And these homeless people come up to us and they're like, hey, if you're waiting for the bus, it's actually, they moved the station. It's on the other side of town and you're going to miss your bus. And they're like, I'll give you a bus pass, but I had to sell my pocket knife for it. So you need to give me something in exchange or whatever. So I get the bus pass from this guy that he sold this pocket knife to. And me and my ex-girlfriend, we leave town on the Greyhound bus.
So it was the legit
yeah. He gave me
transfer of goods.
Yeah, it was
He
legit.
wasn't trying to fuck you.
I guess. Yeah, it was a weird transfer, but it was totally legit. So I get the bus pass from this guy, and I take my girlfriend back. No big deal, whatever. And then I meet my girlfriend now. I'm with Monique, and she's telling me about her first day in Fort Collins. And she was like, yeah, I was at this gas station, and this homeless guy needed a bus pass, so I bought his pocket knife off of him so he could buy a bus pass.
Whoa.
So my ex-girlfriend's last day in town was my new girlfriend's first day in town, and we both talked to the same
and this
homeless guy.
Cupid
Yeah.
was making sure it happens.
So I ended up with the bus pass and then later the pocket knife.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, that is a crazy story.
Weird coincidence, right?
Yeah,
I think it's the weirdest coincidence I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's like some kismet, like some real meant to be shit right there.
Some
like,
destiny
in the
type shit.
stars.
Well, me and her have been together 8 years now, so it worked out all right.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you're single for how long in between?
About a year, something like that.
That's a good time
8
to
or 9 months.
figure out who you are without that last person, and then
it was a
be
good time.
prepared to get into
being single in
anything.
my early 20s in Fort Collins was cool.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Were you laying it down?
Yeah,
or
I was
what?
doing all right, dude. I was fit.
Wow,
I had hair back then, dude. I was doing all right for myself,
What were you doing to stay fit? I mean, you said you were fit.
Oh, dude, I used to run all the time. I didn't have a car for a long time, and then I got a car, and then it broke down. So I was always on my feet, and I commuted on a longboard and ran just all night.
Yeah, total.
Like I'd get home from work and be bored and just go for like a 2-mile run, and I shed like 80 plus pounds in a year. So it was good.
Yeah, running will do that for sure.
Yeah. Gained it all back.
Can your knees take it now? I mean, that's the one thing that's fucking.
My hips are destroyed, dude. My hips are so bad.
Yeah.
It's like not sciatica. It's like a click thing. I honestly need to go get it checked out. Yeah, it's not great. So.
Yeah, I mean, when anything's making a noise, as long as it doesn't hurt, I guess that's
it's like random. It'll like be irritated, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, just like running. Yeah, running takes a toll. I ran cross country and stuff when I was in high school and stuff too. So it's just like,
it's therapeutic though. Honestly,
it's very good. I mean, if you get that runner's high, then you're always chasing that dragon, literally.
Yeah,
but it catches up to you. That's
Yeah.
why I was looking into that rucking thing right at the beginning. I was like, because I try to walk a lot, low impact, still like gets the burning the fat, which is the main focus for me. And, so, but the rucking thing is supposed to, it's walking with a heavy backpack.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I was looking into that.
Well,
walking with a heavy
let me know
backpack.
how
Did
it
I say
goes,
running?
I'm on the market for a new technique.
Just walking around. Yeah. You can walk around with a heavy pack. Yeah. He's saying that bricks because, you could buy the rucking backpack that has a special pocket for the special rucking weight, which is just like a big 20-pound plate, or you could he was like, or you could get these bricks that he just covered in Gorilla Tape or duct tape so it didn't tear up his backpack, his regular backpack. And he was like, oh, one brick is like 5 pounds, like a solid brick, like a road paver.
Yeah.
So he just like taped 2 of those together. And he was like, this is just my simple rucking sack. And I was like,
I think you'd want it like a vest though.
They have rucking vests.
Yeah, all that weight's gonna go on your back if it's just hanging off.
And he was saying that it was good to like bring your shoulders back for your
posture's crap. Yeah, so I'm gonna lose weight and get good posture with this.
And maybe it's up to you, possibly.
Oh, did you see the breakdancing at the Olympics?
Yeah,
I saw that. The Australian woman.
Yeah, breakdancing at the Olympics.
Yeah, I think she did that on purpose. I think she did that like bad breakdance just to, because she's on a world stage. She knows what memes are. I think it was like a perfect way to get all eyes on her. Now she can just do dumb dances for commercials in Australia, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's a great
Good
in
luck
for
finding
her,
a clip, dude. I've tried.
but she fucking. I mean, we got the shorts.
Dancing just had
Yeah.
its debut in the Paris Olympics. It immediately went viral after Australia's Dr. Rachel Gunn, aka Ray Gunn, showed her break dancing in the Olympics. She's one of the best break
Her
dancers
sliding
in
her head on the
Australia
ground
while
is the
being a college
craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, we're just watching a bunch of shorts because you can't get the full video on YouTube.
Dude, I've looked.
So Australia absolutely dominated in the breakdancing. Olympics.
Dude, I heard someone saying like this. She like probably single-handedly got the fucking got breakdancing kicked out of the Olympics because she's so bad at it. So she might go on to do some stuff, but she fucked the whole sport over.
Absolutely. There's
funny.
like dudes in the audience that are like from the Jabberwockies and they look so pissed off at her.
Oh,
They're
shit.
like, you're ruining everything we worked for.
The Jabberwockies. Yeah, I think I saw that. There's like a MTV dance show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Jabberwockies.
Yep. Yeah, they like do tour.
I got
they
into
tour all
breaking a
over.
little bit when I mean, I thought it'd be cool to get into breaking.
Oh man.
There was like a club in Denver I went and they had like, I can't remember what it was called, but there's like 3 different levels and 2 of them are like hip hop breakdancing.
Okay.
They do like breakdancing circles and shit. And there were guys with like beanies and they had that like square cutout in their
That's like whenever you told Evan Joe on a previous podcast that you did with him that you got into street magic because you thought it'd be a good way to pick up women.
Oh yeah,
dude. You have a cool perspective of things. Was the breakdancing thing also for the ladies?
I mean, there are ladies at the club, so, you know, it's like you peacocking. You got to peacock
Oh, man,
however you
dude.
can, you know. I mean, yeah.
Could you spin on your head, dude?
No, I never got
No?
that
Oh, all
far into it. I just thought it'd be cool. I mean,
shit.
they always say women like a guy who can dance, you know?
I don't know if they
It's-
meant breakdancing, dude.
I got a specific kind of dance.
It's like I learned how to tap dance for the pussy, dude.
I mean, I'm sure the fucking all those guys that were in the movies got fucking some puss.
They probably with or
You know?
without the tap dancing though. Dude.
Well, I mean,
Come
the
on.
tap dancing was still part of it.
They also got some buzz probably with tap dancing, just a little bit.
Bus?
Buzz, dude. You don't know about buzz?
No, what's that?
Bussy, boy pussy,
Boy pussy.
boy
Okay.
pussy. Yeah.
You think?
Oh, I know, dude. It's
You
there.
think
It's out
tap
there.
dancing's gay?
I don't think tap dancing gay. I think
I
it's
mean, that's kinda what
confirmed,
you
dude.
said.
No, I think it's
Oh,
confirmed.
okay.
I think we could look it up.
Interesting.
Calvin did a bit about it one time. I'm pretty sure we're locked in. We've
Calvin Reed?
got Calvin Reed.
He's the authority.
Right, exactly. He's the reason I'm okay
Hey,
with
check
saying
out his
this.
podcast, Han Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll tell you what's gay or not. That's kind of their thing.
Calvin Reed says tap dancing is pretty gay. So I
Okay.
think we're all right.
Pretty,
dude.
it's
Yeah.
pretty gay. Well, you know, now I got to become a master tap dancer and only get pussy with it. So,
I mean, break down stereotypes doing that, dude.
yeah. So, so you obviously never read the game.
Never read the game? No.
Yeah.
I've read like 2 books in my life. so.
Yeah, me too. And one of them was the game.
Nice. Okay. Was the other one the street magic?
And the other
book?
one was called The Truth. It was after the game.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Oh, is it like a sequel? Like,
Yeah.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is it like how to talk to women?
The game is like more of a memoir of this guy who got into pickup artist stuff, which
Okay.
is how to approach women, how to
Okay.
yeah.
And then what's
So-
the truth?
The Truth is his sequel to it, and that's like how his sex addiction basically ruined his marriage. and you know, his path to recovery.
So does he go into the second? Does he go into the first book and the second book? He's like, maybe don't do
Well, yeah,
that.
because at the end of the game, he's like, "Oh, the only real way to win the game is to leave it," kind of a thing.
Okay, he was self-aware the whole time, I guess. Then.
In a way, I'm sure once he was
fair
like,
enough.
dude, but that, I mean, I found this when I was like 16 at a Borders in Greeley. I thought this was the holy grail. I was like, I'm gonna fucking be drowning in pussy.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And yeah, I
Being
was a
16
fucking
years old
idiot.
is Being a
rough.
16-year-old boy, if there's any inkling of getting pussy, you're gonna work so fucking hard for it. It's
Yeah, dude.
insane, dude.
If you think breakdancing's the way to do it, or close-up magic,
oh my god,
you're gonna fucking learn how to shuffle some cards. You know.
yeah, that's true.
But it looks like, I mean, so you were just longboarding around Fort Collins,
Yeah.
just getting puss. There's no.
It was even better than
What
that.
were you doing to
I lived
get
in
these girls?
I lived in a student housing thing, and I wasn't a student. I just
Just
I don't know.
siphoned off.
They just, I mean, it was like they just appeared out of nowhere. Honestly, it was
The ladies.
the ladies. They were so. It was so easy. Like one night, I was just sitting in bed, and this girl banged on my door and asked me if I wanted to go to her house, and it was like an apartment across the hall or whatever, and just go to a party. And I ended up hooking up with her that night. It was just like living in a student housing thing is a cheat code. It's all it is. So
you think you've never had to like work to I don't know, put in any kind of self development,
oh no, dude, I was fat my
actualization?
whole life, and I
Okay.
got skinny while living in a student housing thing.
Okay.
Was promiscuous, and then got with my girlfriend and just got fat again. Chilled out.
What was it about her that was like, okay, I want to settle down?
Honestly, she just like wasn't a child. She was like more mature than me, and like kind of showed me that I needed to be more mature. It was like going from a girl to a woman, and I was like, oh shit, this is like a total level up from who I am as a person, and this person's gonna hold me accountable and things like that. So it really was
It's
awesome.
like paying for dinner or what are these things?
Like
'Cause I imagine total fuckboy. You were that before.
pretty much. I was like a manager at a pizza place, and she was like, "You could go to school," and I was like, "I don't want to be in debt." And then
You're
she was
like, why would I go to school?
Yeah, she was like, "No, you can get like grants and just go to community college." And I was like, "Oh fuck, I don't have to like ruin my life to go to school." And so things like that helped. And
Well, as someone who ruined their life to go to school,
it happens.
thanks.
I'm sorry. That's not what I meant, dude. She made me. She didn't make me. She helped me be
She
a better
showed
person.
you the way.
Showed me the way. Yeah, not made me a better person. Showed
So
me
you
how
did go to
be.
school?
Yeah, I just graduated with my associates from Front Range
I mean,
Community
that's
College.
basically all you
So,
need.
Yeah,
I mean, it's more than you really need these days.
it's the dumbest degree in the world, though. It's an interior design degree.
Whoa!
yeah.
No, that's awesome.
We were talking
I
about
like
pocket
that.
doors, and I was like, "Fuck pocket doors,
Yeah,
dude."
I love that. What do you think of this design here at the studio?
I actually think you did very good in here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I don't like interior decoration. I avoid that. I like the architecture side of it, but to become an architect, you have to like
go
be
to school.
way smarter than
You have to
I am.
ruin your life to go to
Yeah,
school.
so I just settled for the next best thing.
Was
so.
interior design?
I mean, no, but here we are, dude. We did it. So
No, that's good. I mean, you must have enjoyed learning to pursue it at least.
I didn't want to quit. I did not want to drop out.
Be
of
a college
community
dropout.
I was like, I'll just knock this out. It's 2 fucking years. It took me 3.5, but
yeah.
you know, I really just wanted to get it done. And now that it's done, I start a new job on Wednesday that's
Oh,
related to design.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so this should hopefully be like a big upgrade for
Yeah,
my
doing
life.
what? Was it like
Designing trusses. So like just the
Trusses.
framework and ceilings like that hold
Okay.
the roof up. That's all. I'm just going to be designing those, and the computer basically does it for you. So this will be my first comfy job where I'm not a laborer.
So it'd be like if I wanted to make the ceiling higher, or I've always
Sure.
thought about like getting rid of the ceiling here and then just making it so that it's it would be
Like a vaulted ceiling or
vaulted
something like
ceiling.
that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
Is that something that you do?
it would be what I'm going to be doing is mostly new construction. So just designing, not like redoing a ceiling that's already
Yeah, yeah.
existing, just new construction.
Yeah, I got some pictures up, so I know I did a terrible job of describing that to the listener. But if you happen to listen or watch on YouTube or anything, you can see some cool vaulted ceilings
And then if you want to know what a truss
because
is,
it opens it up. You know.
Yeah, of course. It's always ideal. A truss is TRUSS. It's just those support things. I'll be
Okay.
designing those.
Yeah, because we'd have to take those out to do a vaulted ceiling.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that would like tear your
It's
whole
the
roof off.
triangle like support on the
Mhm.
ceiling, just for the listener. Yeah, so you'd have to take that out and reinforce
You'd have to
along the
redesign your
side.
whole roof probably.
Yeah.
So Yep.
Worth it.
Yeah, I mean,
I rent.
it could be.
No, I rent.
Oh,
so.
nice.
Dude, we just rent this fucking place. So I want to put the least amount of effort into anything around here.
Well,
like
you did good in here if this is the least amount of effort.
I mean,
like your
I put these in here, these floating shelves, and we bought the couch because it looks good on camera.
Well, it does.
Be honest, it's not the most comfortable couch, huh?
It's better than my couch. I got my couch from like Goodwill, so this is nice.
We bought that from somebody. It's
yeah, no, I like it, dude. It feels good. It's better than. I probably don't look comfortable, but I don't ever look comfortable. So
you look fine. I zoomed it in enough that we can't see the weird way angle your body's at.
All right, perfect. Good. Yeah. Yeah, I immediately regretted wearing shorts. I was like,
I zoomed in on those. Yeah, you don't want to see those games on Dude, I was just listening to this one. I was watching this one pod on YouTube. It's called Through the Gryffindor, and it's like a deep dive into Harry Potter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super nerd, dude. I don't know I think you're getting that more as we get to know each other.
Sure.
But I listen to Harry Potter deep dive podcasts, and so I watched the video for the first time in a while, and one of the guys is just wearing sandals, and he's just like crossing his legs, and you could see his feet. Just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Do you not want to see your feet on camera?
That's like wearing shorts on stage. Nobody wants to see your
exactly.
legs.
Yeah, I hate it. People are doing it more and more. I think a guy at Stella's went on with shorts and sandals. He also played the guitar. Like, come on, have some fucking self-respect.
Dude, the guitar comics are coming in hot lately.
Yeah,
they're
dude, what's up with that?
in strong.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I think it's the all axe mics that they're kind of bleeding into each other, but I'm kind of here for it, honestly.
I mean, yeah, it shakes it up. I mean, if they're good,
exactly.
Everybody is like, oh, what? But if you're good, then you fucking...
Well, even if you're bad, at least it was like a musical break from just like...
Right, but no one respects you as a comedian. But if you're good, then people respect you.
If you're doing comedy because you want respect... Oh, dude.
Wow, you really cut to the core of it right there. Yeah.
You're in the wrong game, dude.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I mean, yeah.
It takes a long time to gain respect as a comic,
Yeah.
It really does.
I'm glad you're seeing that now. You've really
I've got a long way
leveled up.
Yeah.
I think just knowing that you've already earned my respect. So there you go.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
The Springs has a lot more mics now. You going up there at all?
No, because it's like a 3-hour plus drive. You know what I mean? I think it's actually maybe closer to 2 hours from my house, but that's one way. So I'm going to drive 4 hours to do 5 minutes. It's just not worth
it's something about getting seen, being out there. Usually in the past, when I have gone to Fort Collins, usually I'll get booked on something. So it's like, it's worth going up just to remind people you're out there or you're still around.
That's why I go to Denver. That's where I try to show my face. I get booked a lot more in Denver than Fort Collins because obviously the amount of shows that there are. And it's kind of hard to break in at the fort or in Fort Collins because there's only 2 or 3 people who book shows in the first place. So
right. Yeah. So
you're lucky to get
on their radar.
Yeah. And you're lucky if one of them's at a mic. So that's kind of harder. So I try to go to Denver, show face. Going to the Springs it's like diminishing returns at that point. You know what I mean? It's like I'm going to drive all the way down to the Springs, get paid not a lot of money, and then have to drive all the way back. So I do want to move to Denver next year, and I think that'll open up opportunities to drive down to the Springs or maybe do more Boulder shows and things like that. So
yeah, so you seem like a good time, fun boy. You have a good vibe. You're bringing it to the stage. I've been thinking there are like comics that have like a good vibe. Like I'm a party guy, I am the party kind of comic. And then there's like, I'm a clever person trying to say clever things on stage. Or you think you're landed in that?
I obviously fall towards,
obviously,
I guess not obviously to the listeners, but
yeah.
What you were saying, I lean towards, like you said, the party guy thing. Most of my jokes aren't really that clever. And that's just how it is. I do try to rely on my charisma. I would like to be more clever, but I'm naturally more charismatic than I am clever, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
So it's just easier for me to take that route. I have a lot of respect for the clever comics, a lot of them. And I think for a good comic, you kind of have to fall somewhere in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we did that open mic in at Stella's, and then right around the corner at Patrick's Bar.
Mm-hmm.
there was another mic. It was a music open mic specifically, but all the comics just ran over there when they knew they could get stage time, and just bombarded this guy who was hosting it for the first time. And he got all the comics, and he did not know how to handle them. But you're just like such a naturally nice guy. I don't know, like your vibe is just like I'm a nice guy. I'm a sweet little boy. You know, like yeah, there's no threat in you. You know, like some comics, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this guy wants, what he's trying to do. You know, so like I just kind of hang back from most people. You know, the Sammy Answers. I'm just like, all right, man. I don't know what the fuck is behind that grin, but
yeah,
I don't trust it.
I get what you're saying,
but yeah, you don't trust him either. Oh, noted on the podcast.
That is not what I said. No, dude, I'm all about cross up for charity. Basketball's great. Sammy's cool. I love art. Don't do this to me, dude.
I mean, I don't know. That's fine. But yeah, you're just, I mean, you had a vibe that I was like, all right, I like this guy right away. You're like signing up because we're at the mic. I signed up my name first. I was like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm signing up first. And then you're like, can I sign up a couple people? And like, I was just like, wow, he asked the guy and he signed up a bunch of people. I was like, that's a nice dude.
Oh, thank you.
It's a nice guy. And then you went back and you told everybody that that there could be more stage time for him around the corner, you know?
Thanks. Fort Collins people need our stage time. So
I mean,
if I can guide
stage time,
yeah.
But
well, I mean, you know what I mean? Compared to Denver comics, we really are like, we need it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So,
if I can get a stage time, I'm going to do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I went up before you at that mic. No one was paying attention. I was trying to wrangle him a little bit. But honestly, I was a little, I don't know. I get intimidated when I'm like at a bar or whatever.
Sure.
And I was trying to wrangle an audience, you know. But you came on after me, very cool, collected. You know, you're just, you know, you had a vibe that you were bringing, I think, you know.
Thank you.
You think that helped? You know, I thought it helped you on stage. Did you feel nervous? How did you go about wrangling that audience?
I knew the audience was obviously younger people that were there just to drink and socialize. So I knew if I tried to tell real jokes, they probably weren't going to go well. But if I just bullshitted with what's going on around me, like, oh, we're all in a fucking shitty bar, look at us go, and kind of just get them on that same page. And also being loud, being like, look at me, and they will. You know what I mean? And maybe not say, look at me.
Yeah,
but
somebody told me that they had a hard
attention.
time hearing me. And then I thought they could hear you fine. So I thought she was just being nice.
I was yelling at them for sure.
Yeah.
Because they were so loud. I was like, if I don't yell at them, I'm just going to stand on stage for no reason. And I want at least a few eyes on me.
Yeah, do that. I mean, some might say I paved the way for you.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know, I cut the trail, but you know,
I wouldn't want to go first in there. That's for sure.
It's just, you know, it's like I gotta get back to Denver, you know. But
it was fun. I mean, that one guy being 7 foot tall really helped because I just pulled him on stage and I was like, look at this guy. He's a fucking giant. And they love that. And then
I would have been intimidated to bring someone else on stage because, like, you know, the thing in Denver is like you don't bring somebody else on stage. You don't let them take the mic. It's a dogfight in a way, you know. So it's like, whoa, he just brought this guy on stage. It's like that's an X factor I wouldn't want to have to deal with.
Sure, it makes sense.
This guy was like too crazy, try to take the mic. But I mean, the thing that gets beaten into you, or at least scared into you by going to these dive bars like Lions Lair or whatever, and like these drunk assholes will try to take the mic from you and like take over the mic if you let them. So it's like you can't. It's like sit down, shut up, and let me be funny. Is the Denver style of comedy.
And I did something on Friday I did something recently at Wide Right in Denver during Apocalypse Tonight, which is that news segment show.
Yeah, I've had Logan on.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I did his show and it was a lot of fun, but I fucked up by talking to a heckler and they had to like kick him out basically because he would not shut up after I initiated. So I felt really bad, and it is kind of a wild card messing with a heckler that. And I always feed into them. I have a huge problem with it. I try not to, but they get me every single time. I will talk
You're too
to them.
nice. You want to be like, hey, I'm Texas nice or whatever. I got that. It's almost like a Southern hospitality thing. You think?
Yeah, 100% it is. So Southern hospitality is a real thing. And then Coloradoans, I think, are kind of... Coloradans are kind of... They're kind of cold. Like they're not...
I was going to say, do you think we're rude?
Maybe not rude, but harder to harder to break the ice a little
Well,
bit.
yeah, we're mountain men over here, you know?
Yeah, I call it Colorado nice. You guys are like, you hold open the door for somebody here, they're not like so happy to tell you thank you. They're like, I have a boyfriend. You know what
No,
I mean?
I hate it when people open it or hold the door open for me.
Yeah,
But in the way where they're like
standing beside
yeah,
it.
or leaning in it, and it's like, dude, this is obviously you're contorting your body in a weird way to like hold the door to
Yeah.
be kind, but it's like this weird thing now where I have to like, I'm definitely brushing past your body now, and I'm
Sure.
trying to get through because you're trying to be kind. I'd rather you just get out of the way,
Sure,
and I can open the door.
absolutely. And I think there's
I hate
like,
that.
yeah.
I want to go full fucking Larry David and be like, what are we doing here?
or like if you tell somebody, you're like, oh, get home safe. They're like, no shit, asshole, I
Get home
will.
safe was a threat.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think? I can't drive home?
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of like cultural difference in that aspect. And it was a learning curve for me whenever I first moved here, for sure. But that was such a long time ago and I was so young. It's a non-issue now, but you'd still notice it, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah. Colorado nice.
That people don't want to say thank you when you hold the door open for them.
It's not that they...
So we don't want to give it up.
Maybe not that. It's just like... And I do think Texan or like Southern people, they do come across maybe kind of silly whenever they're like, oh, thank you so much. And it's like, dude, just walk through the door. And I get that. But also just the non-acknowledgement hurts. You know what I mean? So there's somewhere in between. You're just like, maybe a nod or something would be cool.
If you let somebody in while you're driving or whatever, if you let them merge in or whatever, you want to wave.
Maybe
you want
so,
the
but
acknowledgement.
that's another difference between Texas and Colorado. Like Texas, I think they're faster drivers, but I think Coloradoans are rude. Coloradans are, it's like the opposite. You flip them. Like Texans drive like Coloradans act. You know what I mean?
Rad, bro. Just think about it like that.
Like you guys are too nice on the road. Like you will stop in the street to let somebody out, and you're just causing more problems.
Yeah, I hate
doing
when people
that.
do that too. Yeah, I drive for a living, so it's really shitty.
I think that's another big difference between here and Texas. So
is that we don't know how to drive? Is what you're saying?
Y'all are too nice,
nice
too
on the road.
Yeah, you're holding open the door for me on the road at that point.
Yeah,
so
yeah, gotcha. That's a good analogy.
So
yeah, I think we're cautious. You know, we don't want to. We're like, what the fuck's? What are you doing? You know, like we're you know,
and maybe
protective.
stoned.
We're protective. Well, that's also that's a different. It's a different thing.
I think that's why they drive slow.
That only ups your paranoia. So
yeah, and I think that's why you drive 5 under the speed limit everywhere.
Hey, safety first. Yeah. You know, which is not my experience. Everyone's speeding on the road, dude.
I guess maybe that's.
Although I do drive a bus, so no one wants to get stuck around behind a bus. So everybody's driving fast to get around me. But
well, and that's also Denver versus Fort Collins. Fort Collins is like way more laid back traffic wise than Denver. So
interesting. I wish I could drive there.
I mean, it is nice whenever you have to go to a show and you don't have to drive on I-25 or whatever. But
I-25,
no,
the deadliest strip of road. In
it?
America, I heard that strip I-25 between Fort Collins and Denver.
I believe it because it seems like every time I come down here, there's at least 2 wrecks.
Dang.
So yeah, it's crazy. I saw a few gnarly ones too. It's kind of sketchy, honestly. That's why I want to move down here. The hour drive does suck, but it's honestly getting on I-25 that's worse than the time consumed itself. You know what I mean? Like the stress.
What's the Fort Collins view of Denver? Like, cause Fort Collins, I just think like college town, bro-y dude, frat guy.
Do you mean like the comedy scenes or like just in general?
Both. I want to know both eventually. I was gonna lead you in, with just in general and then get more specific. But
sure.
if you want to speak to either.
Fort Collins, I think we are like a college town. We're a college town. I don't think we have like a bad view of Denver. I think everybody likes to go to Denver for
like Fort Collins is the college kid and Denver's the businessman.
Sure, that'd be a great analogy. But Fort Collins, I mean, I don't know if they all are from out of town. They're all transplants and shit like that. So I don't know if there's like a real like general opinion of Denver that Fort Collins all feels collectively.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's different in the comedy scenes. Like the Fort Collins comedy scene definitely looks up to Denver. They're obviously the bigger, better scene. And whenever come on, dude.
No, I'm just
Denver's got like 1 million people.
Yeah,
Fort Collins has 100,000. So I think it's pretty obvious.
Okay, cool.
So a smaller scene like that's going to look up towards the bigger scene. And like whenever you guys come to Fort Collins, we'll put you on the front of the list every time. You know what I mean? Because you
I don't know.
drove.
Last time I went to the fort, I was last.
Well, if I'm the host, I'll change that. But
Oh, well, thanks.
we try to make an effort. I've seen Luke make a hard effort to get the Denver people up first. So I think that's a common courtesy. And I think we want Denver people to like coming to Fort Collins because we want the talent. You know?
Yeah, I thought you'd be like, oh, this guy came down. Why is he fucking coming here?
I think honestly, maybe this is just how I feel, but I don't get like jealous whenever I see comics who are better than me. I just look up to them. I'm like, this guy knows what's up, or this
Sure.
this woman totally is badass, and like I want to figure out how I can even get like a smidgen of that in my act. You know what I mean? Like if I could just get them to rub off on me, I'll be a little better or something. You know, like there's always going to be comics who are better than you, and there's always going to be comics who are worse than you. So it's like, if you care about that, it's just such a waste of time, in my opinion.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. Well, it's nice to think that somebody's looking up to us, I guess,
Yeah.
in a way.
oh, probably more than you'd expect.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I'm sure you've heard.
I do go to Fort Collins with a chip on my shoulder, like, hey, I'm from Denver.
Okay.
I'm a Denver comic, okay?
Maybe that's why they put you on.
And
the
then when I
back
go to
of the
fucking
list.
Stella's and Jared Chandler doesn't put me up immediately, I'm like, I'm going around the corner. Okay. I'm going
Like,
around
dude,
the
I'm
corner to
from
another
here.
fucking. I know, and no one cares. I know, dude.
Oh,
I
man.
really want to talk to him about, because he was talking about, I started listening to his podcast and he was talking about trying to do a Greeley festival kind of a thing. And I was like, let me be a part of this in some way.
Yeah.
Because it would mean a lot to
Sure.
me for some reason. I care.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that he is running the Greeley scene from Denver, basically. He lives in Denver. He's,
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
think of him as a Greeley guy now.
Everyone does, but he lives in, it's insane.
Once you're established as a Fort Collins or Boulder comic or whatever, it'll take a decade.
Yeah.
It'll take till everybody who knew you as that is gone.
Well, that's like, they say BK's a Fort Collins comic. And I'm like, I've never.
Doesn't he
moved-
live in like New York?
Well, now, but he like moved out of Fort Collins years ago and they still consider him.
Yeah, I
you
would
know
have
what
still
I mean?
considered him a
So,
not Denver comic.
yeah. Bizarre.
And I'm mad when he claims it. I hope he knows that.
Well, he's probably claiming New York now, dude.
Yeah, he better.
He's lived there a few weeks. So.
No, you know, I do have a chip on my shoulder, I guess, from wanting respect in that way. But you're totally right. Like what you said right at the beginning of the podcast. If you want respect as a comedian, you're like in the wrong. You're in the wrong line of work. You know, if you want respect.
Yeah.
I don't know, be a mob boss if you want respect. Don't be.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think if you should just like, if you want to be a comic, you should just want to make people laugh, right? Like you should just want to be as funny as possible, and hopefully the rest
think
falls
that.
into place.
You think that?
I guess
I
that's
don't know.
just
Is that you really where you're coming from? Is I just want to make people laugh?
Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
It sounds cheesy, but I've been told that I've had a good sense of humor since I was a young kid, so I do take pride in it. And
Yeah.
you know, whenever you really do well in a room, it's like the best feeling in the world. And I think that's a way better feeling than like looking at an Instagram and be like, damn, dude, my clip's got 2 million views. That's badass. Like I would rather just crush a room real quick. You know what I mean?
Real quick.
Yeah. Just, well, I never do more than like, 7-8 minutes. So
No, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's nice. It's nice that you have a pure view of the scene, I guess, or the craft.
I was
Just
naive.
wanted-
I thought that was everybody's. I thought that's how it was.
No,
and then you meet everybody.
I'm doing
and
it
you're like,
because I'm
oh.
better than you,
Yeah.
and I need to show you that by being funnier than you are, having a cleverer joke. It's
I
like-
think that's why that's probably why you didn't hate me at first, because I think I try to give comics
No ego.
I try to give comics their due too. Like whenever I first met you, I was like, I'm pretty sure you're a comic. Like I don't want to bit, you know what I mean?
yeah.
You want to pay the respects to the people ahead of you. So.
Yep. And just like the mob, that made me like you.
See, dude, you just gotta.
Yeah, because I came. The first time we met, I came to a show you were on. I went to go get a guest spot, didn't get it, but you were nice.
Well, I think the guy running the show got his own guest spot. So.
Yeah, so-
I wouldn't
No.
hold it against yourself.
No,
you know?
I'm not. I wasn't mad about it. Let's just say that,
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It is refreshing that you're so pure about the craft.
Well, I've got plenty of time to get jaded.
Yeah,
You know, I've been.
I hope you don't though. I
Thanks.
think it'll help you in the long run.
I've gotten that question a lot. I'm sure you have too, but older comics will just blatantly ask you, "Are you jaded yet?" And I think that is so funny to me. It's like, you're obviously are then.
Dude, yeah. I mean, for a long time, I was like, I can't. I don't even want to get to know this person until I hear them complain about a mic or something. Like when Ben Daly, do you know who Ben Daly is? Yeah, I was like, at first when I like met him or whatever, I didn't want to get to know him until I heard him bitch about a mic. And I was like, okay, then we have some common ground, which is my, that's on me. I should just want to get to know people for getting to know people.
Yeah, but that also, you can only do that so long. As a comic, you really, I mean, you're going to meet so many people so fast. Yeah. Eventually you're just going to get burned out of meeting people or like putting on that. Like if you don't give a shit.
Some people don't.
I guess so.
Some people are, they seem genuinely like nice people.
Well, those are superhumans or freaks, because that's eventually you're going to get burned out,
Yeah.
So
well, here's hoping it doesn't happen to you, bud.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Got some lightning round questions I usually ask a new guests on the pod, all one word. It doesn't have to be one word answer, but first thing off the top of your head. All meant to be fun, okay? Who do you think you are?
Bald white guy.
What makes you so great?
Nothing.
Are you an artist?
Yes.
What motivates you?
Depression.
Usually that demotivates people.
Lucky me.
So are you trying to prove something? You're trying to run away from depression.
Prove something.
To yourself? To the depression?
Probably to myself.
So the more you do, the less depressed you feel?
No. I think I've been getting more depressed the more I do comedy. Maybe I should stop.
Well, something to think about. Maybe I don't want you to stop, but it's not the best for mental health sometimes.
That's for sure. But it does give me something to look forward to on a weekly basis, and that's enough for now.
What is art?
Subjective.
Does life imitate art, or does art imitate life?
Both.
What gives you the right?
Nothing.
What's the most important question you can ask yourself?
Are you hurting somebody else?
Whoa. It's deep. Do you feel you do that sometimes?
I have, for sure.
That first girlfriend?
No. No, I was really cool.
She hurt you?
Yeah.
Damn, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I mean, you're nice enough to take her back or go with her back to Texas, so.
Yeah, nobody knows who she is. She got pregnant with the guy she cheated on me. That's why she went back. So, yeah.
And that was the guy from Fort Collins?
No, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, no, so I got an apartment in Fort Collins and had to leave her in Fort Collins or Midland, Texas.
Yeah. So you came to
6 weeks. She was home for 6 weeks without me while I gathered up enough money to get our own place. And in that 6 weeks, she cheated on me and got pregnant.
Dude.
Yeah. We were together for 6 years before that.
And then so she came to Denver. How soon before you found out she was pregnant?
A month.
Or Fort Collins, I mean. Yeah.
Fort Collins, but like a month. She was here and then immediately
She didn't say anything?
No.
For a month?
No.
Then did you mention it? You're like,
no,
hey.
She brought it up and was like, I'm going back home. And I was like, yep, for sure you are. Yeah. So.
Fuck.
Yeah. And then I had this whole apartment that I paid for by myself, but.
Was it nice?
That was, it was. It was good.
Nice.
Nice. And that was in the student housing thing. So it worked out in the end.
How'd you get in the student housing?
It's not specifically student housing,
but most of it. I mean,
it's like right on campus, and it's like rented by room, so it's mostly students. It was like the cheapest option I had.
That's what I did when I came to Denver. I rented a room out of a townhome.
Yeah,
right next to the metro. Yeah,
yeah. So something similar to that. Maybe not student housing exactly, but
gotcha.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. So
she had the baby.
Yeah, dude. Her baby's got to be, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old at least. Yeah. So, yep. It's weird.
Did she get back with that guy? Do you know, or did you just totally cut it off?
I think they're married and stuff. Damn. Yeah, I totally wish them the best. I don't care. Sure. We were 20.
That has to hurt though, right?
It did for a long time, but honestly, I just got over it, dude. Time goes on, and It was literally a decade ago almost. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
Damn.
Yep. And the lady I'm with now, dude, I love my girlfriend so much.
So it's working out.
Dude,
so.
yeah. My life would be shit if I was with my first girlfriend, for sure. I'd probably have like 4 kids, be in the oil field. So,
Yeah, I did some roustabout work right out of high school.
I mean, you can make good money in the oil field for sure.
It's fucking hard work.
Yep.
Early mornings. I don't like an early morning.
Yeah, same. And late nights, and I don't know. Roustaboutting's a little different. You kind of like are the
We got to come home every night, so that was at least,
that's good. But you still have to do all the shitty work.
Yeah, we're digging trenches and fucking.
Yeah, roustabout is like oil field slang for you're the bitch out there, basically.
Yeah, I felt it when I was out there. I didn't know that at first, but yeah.
No, they dress it up. They're like, roustabout. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
no, it's
fun.
awful.
Is it worse to fail at something or never attempt it in the first place?
Oh, fail all day.
What's your problem?
I'm kind of hungry, I think.
Yeah. You're fasting right now, it's very popular.
I haven't ate yet. Once I eat, I'm good to go.
You can ruck on an empty stomach and,
carry bricks up a mountain.
Yeah, pretty much. Is it better to burn out or fade away?
Oh, burn out.
Burn out, huh?
Yeah. Especially in comedy, in my opinion. Those old road dogs, dude, talking to them makes me sad. It really does.
I've been reckoning with like, is that going to be me? Am I going to be just one of those? Because I mean, honestly, I'm about 10 years into comedy now. Nothing, I haven't really, just looking and seeing like what the Grolix guys were doing when they were 10 years in, other people making moves. BK started after me and now he's like doing his own thing. Just looking around, seeing like other people that started either with me, around the same time or in the same scene, and I'm not making those moves. It's like, am I going to be okay with just being an old guy at an open mic? Is that enough for me?
I mean,
and that's my own personal thing.
It is for a lot of people, and they seem to really enjoy it, And
so I mean, it's not terrible, but I mean, it's like, at some point, it's ruining my self-esteem more than it's helping.
Well, is it like a pursuit or a hobby? You know what I mean? It's like
when I first started, I wanted it to be a career. I didn't like someone called me a hobbyist, and I took that to heart, and I like really fucking was hurt by it and like motivated by spite by it a lot.
Well, comparison is the thief of joy. Everybody's heard that a million times. And I think comedy, more than a lot of other things, is, like I said, comedy is subjective, art's subjective. Everybody's path is different, like completely. So it's so hard to compare yourself. I think it's another pointless thing. It's one of those fools like tasks. So
yeah, you're right. So highs already, bud. You don't need comedy. You're fine.
Yeah, but it's
that's why
been good. Dude.
I think that's why you're so good at it, because you don't need it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I would quit if it wasn't. Once I stop having fun or I stop progressing, I'll stop. But I've been it's been a good ride so far, and I'm enjoying it. And I think stopping now would be premature for sure. But I don't see myself doing it forever. It's just one of those things, like sustaining comedy. Unless you're highly successful, it's so hard to sustain long term,
Yeah.
Especially like, I don't know, a lot of comics out there will probably resonate with me on this, but I drink at every mic I go to and every show I go to.
Oh, wow.
So that becomes not only expensive, but eventually you get drinks for free. But dude, yeah, it's like horrible for your health. And you're like, and now I have this crutch. You know what I mean? Like I get nervous. Like I'm a different guy than whenever we hung out at Stella's in Greeley, because I was drunk then. You know what I mean? And
you were?
Yeah, I was. I was really drunk.
Okay.
But I'm more outgoing, and that obviously helps in comedy. So
is that why you're like, take my phone number?
Yeah, probably.
Do you remember that?
No.
But I was like, let's get to know each other a little bit first.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, dude.
That's
you can't be doing that all the time. Yeah. Be holding the door open for people that you don't want to hold the door open for, So.
Sorry.
No, that's not what I meant. But, so I think comedy is like, if you're drinking and doing comedy, it's even harder to make it long term. So
you see yourself slowing down on the drinking, or is it?
I already have significantly slowed down on drinking.
Stella's?
Before and after. That was kind of like you're
having a good time, right?
Yeah, that was like, I'm gonna drink tonight. But no, like I had a DD, so I was going all in.
Yeah.
But no, like I've really slowed down, and I've also started doing sober sets so that way I can just prove to myself that I can do it. And that's helped a lot because the reason I drink is because of nerves. And now I'm like, oh, if I don't drink, I'm even more nervous. So it's like this cycle.
Yeah.
So I've started doing sober sets, trying to prove to myself that I can still do it sober. And it's been going okay. So we're working towards that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Sounds like you're doing it. You're making all the right moves, bud.
Thanks.
I think you're doing
Appreciate
just
it.
fine. Well, thanks for coming and doing the
Yeah.
pod. I appreciate it. Taking the time coming out. I enjoyed the conversation, and I think we should exchange phone numbers now. I
Cool,
think
man.
it's cool. I think you've established a good rapport.
I've earned it. All right.
Yeah,
Cool, dude. Hell yeah. I
just-
appreciate it.
yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Where can people find you? Your socials, things like that. I let the guests sign us off however they see fit.
Okay.
And I will say Wakanda forever. Be excellent to each other.
Nice. I like that.
It's good because sometimes people make me feel weird about it. And I was thinking about changing it.
No, dude, the being kind of the message is perfect.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
all what I'm all about. You can find me at Trashbag Tanner on Instagram. That's kind of it. I'm not very active on the socials. Maybe that'll change soon. So stay tuned. I don't have any plugs or anything. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks.